So
Oh, really? What was on the pizza?
it was had some they call it a special, so it was and salami and ham and a lot of cheese as well.
Yeah, yeah, you got to have the cheese. I
Yeah.
never quite get when you get these pizzas where there's not cheese on it, but apparently that might even be a slightly Italian thing.
I had one a couple of years ago. Was instead of like tomato sauce and cheese, it had a bit of cream fraiche layer as the
Yeah.
foundation. So it was weird, but it tasted good.
Okay. Wow. There you go. So Peter, for our listeners listening today, would you like to tell us just a little bit about where you do improv, who you do improv with, and stuff like that, just so we start to get a feel for who you are, Peter?
Yeah, I'm Peter. I'm from the Netherlands. I live in Groningen. I've been doing here improv for about or a little over 8 years. All with the same club, team, what you want to call it. Don't know the English word for it.
Yeah, group, team, it's all good.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a club of we have 4 or 5 teams depending on how many members we have for that year. And it's called Ultime, which is the Dutch word for ultimate. Um,
Ultimate team.
yeah, um, and we started doing a short form there. And about 6 years ago, I first started teaching the beginners improv class.
Hmm.
And someone mentioned to me that he did improv in Chicago, and so in 2016 I went to Chicago to do the IO intensive there. Um,
Amazing.
yeah, so I'm planning on going back this year again to do an advanced intensive there at IO and also do one at the Annoyance. So yeah, I like short form, but I've done a lot of long form as well.
Fantastic. Okay, so this show, the Extreme Improv podcast and Extreme
Mhm.
Improv in general, we kind of focus a bit more on some short form. We love some long form, but the show as it has been recently has been more short form. And one of the things we like to do on the show is to play some improv short form games with our guests on the show. Are you up for that today?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so what we're going to do to begin with, and forgive me if you don't know this game or if this game has a different name or slightly different rules, but we'll introduce it to you and any listeners who aren't initiated at the same time. But I thought we'd start with a game which is called a single syllable game. And the way the single syllable game works is you can speak sentences as long as you like, but all of the words you say have to be words of one syllable. So, for example, you can say hi, but you cannot say hello. You can
Okay.
say Dave, but you cannot say David. So everything has to be one syllable. Okay, so are you up for that?
Yes.
Okay, give it a go. So you mentioned a little bit earlier, and it is something that often happens on the show when we have like international guests. This is a UK podcast, and you said
Hmm.
about you're not sure of like the English word for this or that. So if
Yeah.
you need to jump into some Dutch words or whatever, I won't know the difference. So just
All
do
Dutch
what you
words
need.
have one syllable.
Is that an actual fact?
Nah,
That's amazing. This
it's
this
bullshit.
game. Oh, is it
Just
not?
bending the rules to my way. No.
I was going to say because if it's the Netherlands, then already that's you almost had me there. Okay, so Peter, I will ask you to name our scenario. So can I have a suggestion of a place of work? Nice, easy one.
Um, a barbershop.
Excellent. We are in the barber shop, and everything we say has to be words of one syllable. And here we go. Hi there.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Dan. But my hair, it needs work. Can you
Yeah, it's
cut
Matt.
it? It's a mess. Tell my wife. She says I look like a dog.
Ooh, that's rough.
A dog does say rough. You're right. But um, do you think you could cut my hair short or long? What do you think?
Do you want a new style? You've had it long
Yes.
for a while.
What do you think? bald? Is bald the new way to go?
Yeah, just a clean shave.
Would you use a knife to cut the hair, or what things may come to hand?
Well, I'd start with yeah, just cut it at first, and when we wanted to get it down to like really short.
How short?
A
Quite
lot
short.
short.
A lot
Quite short.
short.
Um, then we gotta shave. Then we have to shave.
Now, when you shave it, do you
Mhm.
use that thing that makes a buzz that you plug in?
Oh no, I just use a knife and shaving and cream.
Fab. So let's do this. I'll sit on this chair, and I suppose I put this thing on my front to catch
Yeah.
the hair.
Yes, our cape.
Yep,
Keep you
the
clean.
cape. So, what's next? What's that you've got there?
I'm gonna cut your hair with this. It's you haven't.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it has to be big because
That's what my wife says anyway.
classic, Mike.
Sharp. It's sharp, Dan. Ooh, I think you nicked me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the blood. I feel faint.
I'm gonna get. Uh, um,
The
I'll get you
red.
something. I'll
The
get you.
red. I like the look. The red in my hair. Should I leave it that way?
It's not blonde anymore. It's not blonde.
It's not blonde, Dan. You're right. Okay, we'll wrap that scene up there. Cool.
God damn. Sorry.
How did you find that?
Difficult.
Have you
Because
come across that game before?
no, I haven't. We've done, of course, do different games like the alphabet game or.
Well, you can dive straight into an alphabet game. Yeah.
I'm not saying we have to. But
No, that's a favourite, and it's a nice, easy one to do. Sorry, what are some of the other games you do?
no, but I like the games where they have a technical difficulty or a technical aspect.
Yeah.
But I do get in my head.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things on the podcast for anyone listening who may be thinking, yes, that they get in their heads too, what tips, what advice, what do you find works for you to overcome that?
That's a good question. Usually, stay focused or stay connected to the scene that's happening or the scene partner.
Yes.
Because if you're disconnected from the scene, you're disconnected from the scene partner, and yeah, you get stuck in your head. That's what
Yeah.
at least what happens to me.
Absolutely. Okay, so we will go straight on to an alphabet game. Why not? It's come up, so let's use the
Awesome.
thought in the room. Excellent. So this time I will. Well, you can do the get to me. So
Mm-hmm.
ask me for something, and we'll set up a scenario.
Okay. Can I get a relation between two people?
Okay, let's say that the relationship is they are a lawyer and a prisoner.
Okay.
So we're a lawyer and a prisoner, and can I have a suggestion from you of a letter of the alphabet for us to begin the scene on?
R.
R. So we will start on the letter R, go all the way through the alphabet for our listeners, and get back and end on the letter R with each sentence the next character says, beginning with the next letter of the alphabet. You'll get the idea.
Yeah.
So, starting with R, lawyer and a solicitor. Sorry, lawyer and a prisoner. Here we go. Reuben, you've been a bad boy.
Simon, I know why I'm here, but
Tell
still,
me, tell me, Ruben, why are you here?
you know, it was tough. It's I had to make a difficult decision to, you know, gain some income.
Very true, very true. It was a very difficult decision, but think of the families.
Well, I did do that. I knew I shouldn't have robbed that bank, and that it was a poor decision in my in well in my,
Exactly is what I would precisely say at a time like this. Yeah, but at least you know you did wrong.
yes, yes, like that's part of society. When you commit a crime, you gotta be, take your responsibility and. But I do want to have a fair judgment of my character.
Xena, the judge at the trial, is quite a tough bitch, I'm not going to lie, but if you schmooze up to her a little, then we'll get you off.
Uh, do you mean like flatter her or bring her flowers?
Bring her flowers? You're going to have to bring her a whole garden. Bring her a tree.
Oh, come on, that's something that I'm in no position. I'm locked up here. I can't get out to do anything like that.
Don't despair now, Reuben. Don't despair. There is a method which we can use to overcome any concerns.
Any special advice for me to overcome that?
Find your inner angel and let the inner angel shine brighter than ever before.
Gosh, my brother was right when he recommended you as my solicitor.
Hell, your brother had got all the money you robbed from the bank, so of course he could hire me.
I know. That was a smart move for me to put it in a Swiss bank account.
Jesus Christ, did you see that?
Come on! keep it clean for me. I'm not supposed to see those things. Why did you open your suitcase and show me that?
Look at it and describe it to me in great detail right now.
My family photo. It's my two boys, my little girl. Gosh.
Niece. Your brother's niece, your child, you're right, and you're doing it for them. Take these to Xena the judge.
Oh my God, what did I do? Why did I put myself through this?
Perhaps it's time to accept your fate and stay in prison and serve time.
Quite some time.
Reuben, I'm glad we've had this chat. And scene! There we go.
Yay, games.
Yay, games, absolutely. So, okay, moving on from a game for a moment, let's just ask you a little bit more about, you mentioned that you teach improv as well.
Yeah.
What kind of thing do you teach? Do you have a philosophy on improv, or what approach do you have?
My approach, because like I said, I'm part of a club where I teach a team for an entire year, and my approach to improv is stick to the group, like approach teaching as you would approach a scene. What does the group need in general to evolve and to like prepare for a show, but also like evolve in their improv skills.
Okay, and how do you assess what the group's needs are?
Like this year, at the beginning of the year, because we had a jumble of all members, so like we made four complete new teams. Some people had performed with each other, some hadn't. Like I'm teaching a team, one of them has been doing improv for a year now. Someone else has been doing it for 10 years. So that's quite a range in experience and skill. And just ask them, like, where are you at? Where do you want to go? What kind of styles you would like to participate in? Yeah, figure it out. And also, like, looking at show dates, like there was a show coming up in 3 months. Where were they at? What could we do them? Preparing for that show.
Yeah, no, and they're great questions. In fact, like, let's ask you one of those same questions. So, where do you see yourself going in the world of improv? Do you do other things outside of improv in performing, and like what's the roadmap ahead?
No, I don't have any other plans outside of improv. I plan on like doing improv with my team. We also have a big theater sports community in the Netherlands, where we have a couple of large tournaments each year. That's like a national event, and there's a student event. I'm too old to participate in, but I can still be a judge there. So that's always fun. So like for these events, I like to make like a team just for the occasion. Do that, make friends, and do shows, theater, sports shows with those friends in other cities.
Okay, and when you perform, is it in Dutch? Do you ever perform in English?
No, in the Netherlands, it's all in Dutch, basically. Only times when we do shows in English if we have an outside teacher. And like last year in November, I went to the big improv festival in Barcelona.
Oh, cool!
Where I did a mix.
Is that the Big If?
Yeah.
Oh, how was that?
It was great. It was really fun. A lot of good, fun shows and cool workshops as well. Yeah, so I had a great time there.
Awesome. Okay, so coming back to trying another game, at this point, Peter, I would like to ask you if there's a short form game, a favourite short form game, or something that we can play that you can introduce. So it's not always me throwing the curveballs your way. You can throw one to me if you wish.
Yeah, how about an improvised fairy tale?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Tell me exactly how this will work, that we do it.
Usually the way it works is where we both get a character from, like, in general, from the fairy tale world, like a princess or a frog or like a giant or a dwarf, something like that. Based on those characters, we make a scene. One of us could be the antagonist, the other could be the protagonist, stuff like that.
Okay, let's go for it. So, what do you need from me, and what do I need from you?
Like a character that could appear in any kind of fairy tale.
A character that could appear in a fairy tale. Let's say, you're the court jester.
Okay,
cool. And who will I be then?
I'd say just in general, the knight.
Okay, so we have
perhaps the blue knight.
I'm the blue knight, and you are the court jester.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess here we go.
Sir, please come to the main hall. The princess is waiting for you to propose. Please.
She's always waiting for me to propose, that girl. I'd really rather hang out with all of the chaps down at the yard. There's the Red Knight and the Green Knight, and the Yellow Knight died this morning. It was quite sad, but I guess if this girl is waiting, then let's do it.
Switch to the main hall. Oh.
Well,
yes, I understand. She's no longer here.
Well, I came here all prepared to propose, and damn it, I think I'm going to propose. So, how do you look in a blonde wig?
That would be a different kind of choice, of course. I'm not sure if the king would be happy with that.
I mean, you're a performer, no doubt. A jester, you say.
I could try to embrace the character. Of course, she's very cheerful and all. Are we sure you're not supposed to be looking for her now? Just
I was about to say that. Of course. Which one of us is the knight here? I mean, like, okay. Is she in the ladies' room, the powder room, as they call it?
I think she left a map here on her chair or on her throne.
Good heavens!
The X marks the spot of the witch's swamp.
Oh yes, I thought that was the X-rated joint, but oh yes, we can go venture. Let's go to the swamp, but I'm going to need you to be awfully brave. And will you be my sidekick?
Yes, I'll be your what you would call it, like bringing your sword and lance and all that stuff.
Yes, a sidekick, exactly right. Now let's get on these horses here.
15 minutes later. There we are. That's where they mark the X on the ground, and that's the swamp.
Good heavens! Can you hear that burbling from within the swamp? You don't think that could be some kind of beast or monster, do you?
Oh, it could very well be that the witch has laid a trap for us, that she abducted the princess, and that now we have to conquer the monster and her to get the princess back.
Well, that's a brilliant idea. I was about to say that myself. Obviously I have the plan, but the first step of that, what do you think we should do?
I think this is the moment for me to give you your sword and you to lead the way through the swamp. And if we encounter the monster, that you'll slay it, right?
Yes, that was yes. You've been paying attention to my method well. That's exactly what I was about to suggest. One slight change, though. I'll keep the sword, but you walk about 5 paces in front of me, because that way we can surprise any monsters.
Oh, that's such a smart move, because it's a swamp, and if I fell through, you would be heavier. Of course. Oh, I'm so stupid. Thank you, sir, for taking me on this adventure.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I see a shadow. Is this some kind of demon or nymph?
It's the witch herself.
Well, please,
Slayer.
Okay, and excuse me, madam. Have you considered a slaying today?
Yes, of course. I do not plan on being slain, but if that's what's necessary to fulfill my part in this world, yes, please do.
Well, I think it's for the best. My friend the jester here, he's I don't normally slay witches on an empty stomach, so over to you, jester.
Oh, thank you. I always wonder, why do I start my sentence so high, and then I change to a lower register? Well, do you want me to beat her now, or slay her?
Yeah, just you. I think it's your big moment in the sun.
Oh, well, thank you. Then I'll use my magic jester powers and shove one of the bells of my head down her throat.
Oh my! Well, that's it. Well, wait a bloody moment. Are you saying the king is sending out knights dressed in metal suits with swords, and you've got magic powers this whole bloody time?
Well, it's the magic bells where you recognize that I'm approaching, and they do have special powers, but usually just for entertainment purposes.
We need a better union, is all I'll say. Now, look, it's the princess. How are you, princess?
Ah, thank you. I'm just... Please propose to me right now, because I'm very distracted from being in the swamp all day.
Yes, well, I'd love to. So, princess, will you marry my friend the jester?
Me, sir? But...
Well, you rescued her. I'm not selfish. Get to it, man. And I'm certain you will live happily ever after. The end. I think we can wrap that one up. Scene.
Dude, I'm not good with voices.
Well, do you know what? I'm not going to lie. As soon as I started speaking, I was like, this is the exact same voice as I did for the lawyer. So I went to do something different. I was like, I've picked it now. So yeah, that's a cool game. I like it. Fairy Tale gives a lot of scope and a lot of conventions to play with. So speaking of stories, do you have any stories, Peter, we like to ask of things that perhaps anecdotes, things that have gone wrong, things that have gone wonderfly wrong, so wrong that they become right, something unusual or unexpected that you've had to deal with on stage?
Well, I was thinking about that today. Like one of the best wrong moments for one of the characters I ever did was in an improvised musical.
Yeah.
Where someone had she had been given a dream to become the head of the mafia, and her father was murdered. So that was by the mafia, of course. And we were like approaching the final scene, and I was the head of the mafia, and I explained to her like I was so thankful for her because she had slain all people. She had killed them basically, everyone who had betrayed me, and that she had taken their positions, because that's how it worked in the mafia. The person you kill, you get their position. And the audience was looking at me, and they all realized that basically what I said was, if you kill me, you get my position. I was stuck there, and I've gotta find the end to the scene. I was just like giving it on the plate. It was such a fun moment because there was the whole interaction with the audience, because everybody knew what was happening. That was like a beautiful downfall to get myself killed. But it was a fun scene in that way.
No, it sounds good. Good. Okay. Go ahead.
I have a story about like it's not a fun story, but like you want to talk about mistakes.
Absolutely.
Where we did a show, and the lights were like there was just a flat area, like there was no stage specifically, and the lights were next to the audience, and someone decided to run around the audience to chase someone else, and he ran over and tripped on the lights, like the stand of the lights, and the lights fell into the audience right on top of an elderly audience member, and it was like,
oh my gosh,
oh my god, that was such a weird and kind of sad moment. And then we still had to finish the show, and we ended up doing like one of the weirdest musicals ever.
Yeah, absolutely. How was the audience member, the old lady?
She was fine. She was of course scared, but the lighting was LED lighting, so it was really
good.
It wasn't that heavy, but more of the shock of getting lights on your head. That was really weird.
Absolutely. Well, it's good LEDs as well, because the other ones, they get burning hot. I once was working on a film shoot, and the lights were off, and I just went to move the equipment, and I for about 2 months had it scorched into my hand, just the pattern of the lights. They can be they can get red hot. Okay, so Peter, let's move on with a game we like to play, which is an extreme monologue. And the way this works is you'll start the game. It's only one of us at a time that plays it. And on this extreme monologue, you'll have
the restrictions that you're not allowed to repeat any words, and also you're not allowed to hesitate, which means extended pauses or saying or and if you break either of these rules, then I can call freeze, and then I try and take over the monologue. Now we keep the monologue going for 1 minute. Whoever is speaking at the end of 1 minute wins the game, basically. So you're not allowed to repeat any words, and that includes very small words like I and if. And so the way we've worked this throughout the shows is that a previous guest has chosen the character for the next show, and you'll be able to choose a character for the next player after you. And the character that's chosen is the character Sully from Monsters, Inc., the Pixar film. Are you familiar with it?
Sully is the long one, right?
Yeah, the blue one, the big monster voiced by John Goodman. So you are Sully from Monsters, Inc., and let's throw something in there, and let's say that you accidentally stepped on and squashed a child when you were in the people world. You have stepped on a child and squashed it, and you're going to talk about this without repeating any words or hesitation in 1 minute. Here you go.
Okay, so last night I stepped on a child. It was in the middle of the night.
Freeze. Repetition of night. Last night I stepped on a child. It's the middle of the night. Okay, so I will now take it over. If I break either of these rules, then all you do is shout freeze. And I will continue. Here I go.
So, me and my friend Mike were out on a job when a small kid ran up under my big foot and squelchy breaking of bones, and my Nike trainers wouldn't go on my feet anymore. Unfortunately, there was evidence when we came back through the door to the monster world. My green pal said something to the effect of, "What are we gonna do?" To which my response was, "I don't know. In fact," freeze. Repetition of I. Oh gosh, I'm not going to lie, I definitely was aware of at least about 3 or 4 I's in there, so I was pleased for you to call it in the end. I was definitely running out of words. So, back over to you. There are 6 seconds remaining, and here you go.
My excuse was that she was so fast that I didn't see her at all.
And that is time. Well done. You won that round.
Oh, thanks.
Don't worry. It's a game that can go so that you can start playing, not do a bunch in the middle, and you can come in and steal it at the end.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. Okay, so we'll begin to wrap things up. It's been great speaking with you today, Peter. But a couple of things before we do. We like to give everyone an opportunity to give a shout out to someone else in the world. Now, this can be someone you know, a family member, a friend, a fellow improviser, or it could be literally anyone in the world, whether you know them or not. I like to think that at some point someone will make a shout out to Barack Obama or Jackie Chan or someone, and it will get through the grapevine, and it's just a way of connecting people. So, have you got someone that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, it's someone I met in Chicago in 2016. It's a Pakistani improviser, Akbar Shahzad. Okay.
Is there any message you would like to say for them?
Akbar, I hope you're doing well. We haven't seen each other in a while, but I hope everything is still okay with you and with Pakistan.
Brilliant, yeah.
Just the entire country.
Just the whole nation as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, so Peter, tell people listening to this, where can people find you on social media if you want to share stuff like that? If you've got like websites or social media handles or your improv group, any shows coming up, it's your chance to plug whatever you want.
Yeah, we just did a show based on First Dates, the TV show. And the 21st of June, we're going to do another show, Improv Werewolves, where if you
Improv
have to know
Werewolves?
Yeah. It's,
how does that work?
It's a format based on the game Werewolves. If you happen to know that, it's kind of like Mafia.
Okay, yep, I do know. So someone's like everyone shuts their eyes, and someone's a werewolf. They kill someone overnight. Is it like that? Okay, yeah.
Like that. There's first you see the city is established where it's happening. Then there's a curse put on the city, so a couple of improvisers become werewolves, but that doesn't influence the game. But people are killed, and the audience has to guess who the werewolves are. It's a format developed by Sietse Wilman, Dutch improviser. So he's been doing it on festivals in the last year as well. And we'll be doing that in our city of Groningen on the 21st of June. So if you happen to be in the neighborhood, please drop by.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And are there any social media handles or things where can people find tickets or anything?
Well, you got to go to our website of Ulteam, that is ulteam.nl. There you can get the tickets for our shows that are coming up, including the Improv Werewolves in June.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, so I will now just give the traditional Extreme Improv plug stuff, and we can begin to put this one in the can, as it were. So my name is David Pustansky. You can find me at my website and all my social media handles by searching David Pustansky, which is DavidPustansky, and there's davidpustansky.com. And David Pustansky on Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth. This is the Extreme Improv podcast, and of course all of our social media handles, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc., can be found from our website www.extremeimprov.co.uk. We've got shows coming up. We've got shows coming up all over the world, all over the place. We've got a show in Alaska in April. We've got a show in Seattle that we'll be doing, and that's also in April. Before that, though, in a couple of weeks' time, so this episode may have literally just about aired by the time we're doing it, we'll have a show in Florida in the United States. We have plenty of shows in England. We're doing a special one which we've just confirmed for Comic Relief, which is the big charity event that happens once every 2 years here for Red Nose Day, where all proceeds, or 100% of the profits made, will go to fundraising for Comic Relief. So anyway, Pieter, you've been a fantastic guest today. Have you had fun?
Yes, I did. Thanks for having me.
No, it's been a pleasure having you, and it'd be fantastic to have you come back on the show at some point down the line, see how things are progressing and developing over in the Netherlands.
Well, thanks for having me, and have a great day.
Yeah, will do. Until next time, so thank you very much, listeners, and this has been the Extreme Improv Podcast, and bye for now.